You're about to discover the most powerful formula in the world. Okay, now before I begin and start talking about this formula, I want to talk about two different things. And that is fragile ecosystems and anti-fragile ecosystems. Now, I'm about to blow your mind. This may be new information for you, it may be not. However, I want you to pay attention. So the problem today with most business owners or entrepreneurs or anybody in general looking to become a health warrior, and to me a health warrior is everybody that is maximizing their health, both physically, mentally, spiritually, and most importantly, financially, right? Becoming independent from anybody else and living the life that you want to live and that you deserve. Okay, first of all, fragile, anti-fragile. We'll get that in a second. I'm going to first talk about what fragile ecosystem is. Now, this is a closed system right now. It is like a water balloon. And think of, for example, there's water inside all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. Water, 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 water. That's you. You're in the middle. And what I mean by fragile state is like you are attached to educational belief systems. You're attached to religious belief systems. You're attached to the job, that you need a job. You're attached to how the government, or you need the government to support you. You're attached to a certain mindset. Okay? Now in the fragile ecosystem, what's going on over here is like, for example, I'm always gonna point out education because I hate the educational system. I don't hate education. I think every single human being in the world should be educated. But the educational system over here is a freaking joke. Okay. Now, you go to school. You're like, okay, I want to get my MBA or whatever. You want to start a business, or you go get your Bachelor of Science or Arts, whatever. And most people, they go into debt. So average school in Canada, if you're not doing the sciences or like medical school, let's top it off at 10K. Make it fair, right? Not too many people can afford 10K. So fast forward, maybe you're in debt like 50, 60K when you're leaving university, and that's on the low side, okay? Now, with that diploma or degree that you got from school, you think you're entitled to a job. You think all of a sudden you're gonna make 50 to 100K with that job because you went to school. So you got that mindset, right? That, okay, I just graduate, no matter what, I'm gonna get a job. Well, let's wait a second. 2-3 months pass, no job. 6 months pass, no job. And you're getting mad, you're getting angry. 1 year passes and you're pissed the fuck off. No job, no income. You're in debt this much, 100K. Now you're back living with your folks. What are you doing? This is a fragile system because you're putting all your marbles in one place. You're relying on your diploma and education for your success. This applies to everything. Same thing, religion. I'm not the biggest religious person out there. I'm not going to offend any religions. However, just because your religion tells you to do that doesn't mean it's true. Why are you tied down because of your religion? Jobs. You think you need a job, right? You need a job. Why? To pay bills, to get a car, to get a mortgage. So they program you that way, that you need a job, that you must mandatorily work for the people, or work for the man, as they say. Government. You need the government. I think you and I can both relate on this one. No one needs the government these days. The government is fucking us up the ass. It's not fair for any of us, and no one should rely on the government, specifically if you guys are talking about pension plans. That's a joke, okay? Finally, mindset. Your mindset you rely on. However, that mindset is corrupted because that mindset is in a fragile state. So now you have this closed ecosystem that I'm talking about over here. Now, what happens if I say this? Bye-bye education. Your education's not working, and we poke a hole in the water balloon. What happens? Water starts going out, right? We say, uh-oh, bye-bye religion, another hole pokes out, water goes. So what happens over here is, as soon as I remove that education, so even though you went to school, say now I tell you that that educational system or that diploma or that degree is useless. It doesn't apply in society today. And this is what's happening today. What do you do? What do you do? Because you're relying on it. You're attached to it. It is you. You're like, oh shit, what do I do? And you go into a frantic state of mind. You don't know what to do. And you go in a vicious cycle. This is why this is horrible. This type of ecosystem, this fragile ecosystem, is a virus on the world today, complete virus, because you are reliant and dependent on systems, when in reality you must become anti-fragile. So this is a second step to this, okay? So now you're going to learn about anti-fragility. Okay guys, so this is a second model. This is a model that I want you to live your life. I want your life to be about embracing the anti-fragility equation. Everything that I've accomplished today, all the successes I've had, is based on these principles and philosophies. Now, I adopted my own variation of the antifragility equation, which you're going to be learning in a second, from Nassim Taleb. He's the author of The Black Swan and the book Antifragile. I recommend you read those two books. Number two, older works of Joseph Campbell. And number three, fractal geometry, which is right behind you. So remember before when we were talking about the fragile ecosystem, it was a closed system. It was a circle with water inside. And it was too dependent on all these different variables. And if you move one thing away from it, the whole system will crash. Or if I poke it, the water goes out and then no more water balloon. Your ecosystem is destroyed. However, you need to become in an anti-fragile state. So what you see in front of you is a fractal. It's a self-replicating pattern that goes forever, never ending. And the beautiful thing about a fractal, it's alive, it's warping, it's transforming, it's fluid, like Bruce Lee talks about, it's water, okay? See, in here you have mini ecosystems, but then you have the greater ecosystem. And if you keep on going further in and in, it keeps on replicating. Now the fractal system, and you're going to learn the formula in just a second about this, why the fractal system applies to antifragility is it goes to the law of Darwinism. It's not the survival of the smartest, it's not the survival of the fittest, it's the survival of the most adaptable. So how are you adapting to the situation? I said before, you know, your education may be fucking you. Bottom line, your education serves no purpose. You went to school for a Bachelor of Arts. What are you? 4 years? What did you learn? Did you learn anything to apply in your life to become successful? I'm not just talking about finances. I'm talking about actual skills, tangible skills that you can apply in the world right now, today. If the answer is no, then instead of you complaining about your education, you have to apply the anti-fragility model, adapting to that situation, trying new things. And this is the equation I'm going to teach you right now. Okay, so this is the formula for the anti-fragility equation. I base all my successes on this one formula. It took me a while to develop this. Like I mentioned before, I got a lot of inspiration from Nassim Taleb, Joseph Campbell, and fractal geometry, and I combined that into my own personal take. And I guarantee you, if you apply this formula in your life on a day-to-day basis, my God, where you're going to be in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, way ahead of the curve. You're going to be light years ahead of your competitors, ahead of your friends, ahead of everybody, because you're going to be growing, you're going to be adapting, you're going to be becoming anti-fragile. Okay, so it's A times L times A to the power of R. Okay, so A is adaptability, L is learning, A is apply, and R is repeat to the power of. That equals a compound effect. Plus speed is a different factor in there too. So we're going to go one by one. I'm going to explain exactly what I'm talking about and give you examples. Okay, so A is adaptability. Remember what I said before with education. You spend 4 years, maybe you take a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. However, you can't land your job you want. Okay? So instead of you complaining about your education, instead of you complaining about your situation, not having work for a year, living with your parents, you have to adapt to the situation. So adaptability can also be called awareness. They're one and the same. Okay? So you can call that adaptability or you can call that awareness. So once you are aware of that situation, you're like, fuck. You know, I've been doing the same thing, which if you look at the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, that's insanity. So once you're aware of the fact that you're in trouble, you have to adapt. That awareness and adaptability come together. So let's talk about the educational thing. Here I am, you know, out of university, I can't get a job, I can't get work, it's been 1 year. What do? I adapt. I realize I'm in a crunch. I realize that I must do something different. And this is pivotal in the mindset because you're going to be separating yourself from the rest of the herd. You're not going to become the sheep anymore. You're going to become the wolf. You're going to be attacking now because now you realize you have to do things differently. And this is the biggest turning point in your life. This is the catalyst for the formula. The first step is knowing you must adapt and being aware of the situation, which takes me to the second part of the formula, which is learning. Now you realize already you must adapt and you must be aware. Now you have to understand, okay, what new skills can I learn? Or what new ideas, philosophies, or something like that I can incorporate in my life to take me out of this situation. So for example, for the education, you can't get a job. Everybody sends resumes, right? So a company gets thousands of resumes any given day. How do you stand out? Well, for example, let's say you came out of school for marketing, right? Instead of you sending the resume, why don't you audit the company? Why don't you audit and see exactly how they are running business and maybe focus on a subset section of their business and actually give work for free. I mean, like, hey guys, I've seen how you can improve your portfolio over here. I've seen how you can improve your branding, your marketing. I've actually drawn out and drafted your approach, and this is the results you can achieve. Now, can you imagine this? If the company that you're trying to get a job receives that as opposed to a resume, who do you think they're gonna pick? It's a no-brainer, you, because you're delivering epic value. The more you give, the more you get back. Read the book, Give and Take by Adam Grant. Second of all, maybe the skills that you learned in school doesn't necessarily mean that's the job you're gonna get. So instead of focusing on that section or on that niche, cross-promote yourself. Look at other possibilities. Don't just look at that specific category or the specific educational ideologies you learned in school. You must elevate yourself. Don't keep on going down the same avenue. Try different approaches. Try different jobs. At the end of the day, life is fluid. It's like a chess game. Don't be playing the same move every freaking day and then scratching your head wondering why you're losing. You know, if you come and play chess with me and keep on making the same moves every day, I'm gonna crush you, squash you like a bug, because I know exactly what you're gonna do. You're predictable. You have to become unpredictable. That's the beauty about like evolution, about living in the world. It's about being adaptable, about learning things, going with the flow. Like fighting, someone punches you, I learn how to, space myself. I learn the space between my opponent. I learn how to tackle my opponent. How do I learn this? Is by moving with him or her, going around, feeling it out, not doing the same thing. It's like boxing when you watch that. You know your opponent's jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. I can count. Boom, 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 jab, jab. I go in there, knock him out. So don't be predictable. You have to become unpredictable. Learn new skills. Go to workshops. Read, 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 read. Do you read every single day? If you don't, oh my God, you're missing out. Warren Buffett, they asked him at this, university conference thing, if you had a superpower, what would it be? You know what he replied? To read faster. Bill Gates had the same answer. And these two titans run multi-billion-dollar companies, okay? So if you're not reading on a day-to-day basis, bettering yourself as an individual, then you're not succeeding in life. So you have to dedicate yourself to your craft every single day and develop new skills, learn new ways to tackle that situation. And finally, that takes me to the last A, which is apply. So you've become aware and adaptable. You've learned new skills. You've learned new ways to approach a situation. You're thinking differently. Now you apply everything. I've seen it too many times that people, like to read a lot, which is good. They like to study a lot, but they never apply. Richard Branson had a famous saying. He's like, as soon as I see something that kind of catches his eye, he applies it to his business. I'm the same way. Like if I read a book and like a chapter like really jumps out at me, or a verse or a paragraph, I actually rip that out and apply it in my life right away. I want to see if that fits into the Ameer equation of life, if that fits into my business model, if that fits into my philosophies, if that fits into my everyday life. I don't wait, I apply. And if it fits, excellent. I add a new excellent, valuable chapter into my life. If not, I discard it and move along. So you have to apply. And why applying is so pivotal is it's going to give you feedback if it works or not. And that ties into the final, to the power of art. You must repeat this process on a daily basis. You must become aware, you must learn, you must apply. It's simple as that. And you repeat, and this is why it fits into the fractal equation of antifragility. It's never ending, constantly evolving, adapting. You may start at the center and constantly move out, and you're growing your influence, growing your network, growing your knowledge of life, the tree of life, as they say. The branches are growing out. Which branches are fractal? Trees are fractals. It's everywhere in nature. This is part of nature. This is something new. I haven't created this. This is just how I digest information presented to you. So you must become this. You must become a fractal. And don't rely on that fragile ecosystem. Learn and apply the principles in this formula. Stop living in this closed bubble. Stop doing the same things everyone else is doing. And start living your own life. Okay, guys, I know we covered a lot today. So there's a couple things to do from here. Step one, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And step two, I want you to leave a comment below. I want to know your biggest problems when it comes to this whole ecosystem, fragile versus anti-fragility, and I want to know how you deal with your successes and your losses. Till then, warriors, remember this. This is really, really important. You must live your life on a day-to-day basis. You must breathe, meaning bring in new energy, new information, and you must grow. Without these philosophies, We're nothing. Catch you soon.